Alex Williams. I'm the head of animation at Escape Studios, and this is a very short video to talk about AN5002. That is the second module that our second year animators hit in their second year of studies at Escape Studios. So what is this module all about? It's about animal and creature animation. And I think it's one of the most fun, interesting modules that we have for animators at Escape Studios, because it really maps onto the kind of skill set that you're going to need for working in the visual effects industry, which is something that London has been traditionally very strong with. Ever since Framestore did Walking with Dinosaurs back in 1997 or 8, or whenever it was, we've had a really strong tradition of digital CG photorealistic animal and creature work here in the UK. So this is something we focus on very, very strongly, and it's I believe it's a 6 or 7 week module. And we're going to start off with all the basics, right? So you're going to learn to do quadruped walks, quadruped trots, quadruped runs, all that good stuff. We'll also tackle spiders, arachnids, scorpions, birds, fish, all kinds of stuff. Whatever we've got time for, we're going to tackle it. You're going to learn to animate all kinds of different animals and creatures. And in many ways, this is a great module because you're going to go back to the basics. Remember those walk cycles you did back in the first year? We're going to go over all of that stuff again. So you're going to learn how to do a quadruped walk cycle. If you've forgotten how to do a strong walk cycle, and believe me, this is something you really need to know how to do well in industry, we're going to go back over all of that basic stuff again. So walks, trots, runs, how to do the transitions between them. We're going to go back over all of that material, and I will show you very, very simple methods that work very, very well, how to mechanize it, how to make it work, how to make it, how to avoid the feet slipping on the ground, how to have it feel heavy, have it feel weighty, all that good stuff. But then, of course, it builds up to a final submission, a piece of assessed work. And that's, of course, something that is a little more sophisticated than just cycles. It's got to have a performance element to it. So a little bit like the module that you guys just did, AN5001, which was the entry into the 11-second club. You're going to have to produce a piece of animation roughly 7 to 11 seconds long, and that needs to have a performance. So it's got to be something interesting to look at. Can't be just a cycle. It's got to be some kind of piece of acting. Could be talking. You can have a talking animal if you want. So you could even enter the 11-second club again if you wanted to, though it's not a requirement this time. But it's just got to have a performance. And what most people do is because this part of the industry is so heavily focused on photographic reference, on live action reference, most people will use live action reference for this module. Now, luckily enough for you, unlike the last module where you were required to film yourself acting out the shot, this time you're going to be gathering reference at YouTube, Vimeo, any place, the BBC reference sites, any place where you can gather reference of animals. Very, very important with this module. Do not attempt to do an animal for which you don't have a functioning character rig. So for example, if you want to animate a giant panda, if you found some great reference of a panda doing something cool, then make sure you've got a great panda rig to work with. Don't just Google panda rig. Find the first one that comes up at Creative Crash and assume that rig is going to work. Lots of the free rigs don't work. So, unless you're really good at rigging, you're going to be relying on downloading something which ideally is free, because we don't really have a budget for paying for this stuff. So ideally it's free, and ideally it works. That means you'd need to test it out very carefully. So those are the two things. You're going to need some great live action reference to make your animation feel believable. And I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you how to use that. Of course, we did a lot of that in the last module, but we'll go over that again. And you're going to need a rig that really works in order to carry that off. So, as I said before, this is a module which is really fun and interesting, and hopefully will build up to a really great creative outcome. We've had students in the past who have uploaded their work to LinkedIn. They're starting to get feedback from professional animators, people working at places like Framestore and DNEG and so on, and they've had some really great feedback from working animators doing that. So good luck with this module. I hope you really enjoy it. It's one of the best modules we have, and in general we've seen some really nice work coming out of this module at Escape Studios.